So let's get started to see how many goals have been scored per game. So the data here is from 1966, because that's when all the games were televised. And it looks like in 2026, the goals per game ratio is the most it's ever been, 3.05. What do we think about this, boys?
Defending is a lost art. That's where I'm going to start. No, I think it's just been a tournament that's been open. And I'm going to go back to the New Zealand-Iran game. That one ended 2-2, but that was a game where both of the opponents looked at each other going, this is where we're going to get our 3 points. So they didn't sit back. They're trying to play on the front foot and trying to go get those points. And I think that's been one of the pleasant surprises, I guess, of the expanded tournament. 40.
Yeah, I think with the expanded tournament, right, there's a little bit more disparity. Although I don't think outside of Germany, Curacao, we've seen blowouts. There was also another 5-goal game the other day, but certainly against a decent Sweden side. There's a couple of those moments in the competition. So I thought we'd see a little bit more for sure, but I think it'll tighten up as the competition goes a little bit deeper.
Okay then. JD, you have anything to add on that?
No, I think my teammates hit the nail on the head.
Okay, there we go. Right, on to our next one then. So this one is... No, excuse me. They want us to talk about the ball, the World Cup ball, and how it's got the chip in.
Some discussion about it.
Yeah. Because it's proving quite difficult for goalkeepers to stop that ball.
Yeah, I saw Joe Hart do a little piece on it. Now we're starting to hear about it a little bit more on the commentary. It's got this 4-panel. I watched them build it. There's a great video that goes on. We were at live France-Senegal, and it was the Kylian Mbappe second goal, which made it 3-1 against Senegal. And Mendy was the goalkeeper there. And I thought to myself when it happened, boy, he got a really late jump on this, right? Was it his positioning? Was it, you never know, right? And then I saw the video from Joe Hart, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is part of the discussion he's talking about. He showed a couple of clips in there. It's got 4 panels, which is completely different than we've seen in the past. It's got the technology in the ball, which certainly will change something. We've seen the evolution of balls, the soccer balls over the years, where it's not geared towards goalkeepers making saves. It's geared towards more goals, which might also be what this number reflects. I think we're going to get more. We always get kind of more discussion, Hannah, after the World Cup when guys come out and talk about, the technology and the ball and all that stuff, but certainly something to look out for.
Now, my World Cup in 2006, I remember Philip Lahm scoring the first goal of that tournament, and it started to move very similar to this ball, and that was also 4 panels. So I wonder if there's something there. And then the Jabulani in 2010 was a ball that was talked about a lot, too, that was moving around. It was difficult for goalkeepers. And so, obviously, the sport, everybody wants more goals than less goals. So
speak for yourself.
Well, I'm a center back. I probably shouldn't be saying that either. But.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, it's time now for our Enterprise on Every Corner, presented by Enterprise. This tournament, every corner kick goal is your chance to win a car, and we are looking at how set-piece goals have been scored so far. And they're all mostly coming from corner kicks. 60% of goals in this World Cup have come from corner kicks. JD, there's no Mikel Arteta and no Arsenal in this tournament. What's going on?
I seem to, the conversation and narratives just disappear when it's not Arsenal involved. But in fairness, corners and set pieces are something that you can see. You know what's so interesting? Watching how many set piece coaches are on the benches that we see at prominent teams around Europe and now being picked up by national teams as well. So if you're a young coach out there, maybe you can think about actually specialising in these type of things, because there are ways in which you can impact the game because you can actually rehearse them, and it's one of the only variables that you're actually in control of. And of course, the delivery needs to be executed perfectly, which is always number one and primary. But I remember there being a conversation about 5-6 years ago, and Tony will probably tell me, where we couldn't see corners getting past the near post. It was like every other corner was hitting the near post. Now everything's well orchestrated. They're stealing a lot from American sports, if you're really taking note. There's a lot of blocks, there's a lot of screens and a lot of diversions, a lot of decoys, and a lot of mixing and matching, which I actually quite like. People are getting creative. But truth be told, Hannah, there's only so many set pieces scenarios you can create. So there will be a leveling out periods where you see this sort of stabilize. But it's good while it can. And any advantage you can to make sure that you're going further into a tournament or impacting a game, I'm always going to encourage it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at now at when the goals are scored, what time of the game is the most popular. And it looks like the 75th to the 90th minute is when most goals are scored. Obviously, we do have those hydration breaks in between 15 and 30 and then 60 and 75. And that percentage is quite low Do we think that the players are getting a boost from the hydration breaks going into the last 15 minutes of the game?
I would say
I want to be careful with that.
Yeah. I would say that's more of an urgency thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you get towards the end of a game, the outcome starts to be coming to balance. We were at the Senegal game last night. They're down 3-1. They need to get back into it, so they're starting to throw more numbers forward, and they end up getting one to make it 3-2. And now they're thinking, man, we're going to get back into this with a couple minutes left, and so the urgency just changes. And that's the team that's chasing the game. Conversely, the team that now has the advantage, well, maybe they can hit them on the counterattack because they've committed so many numbers forward. So I'm not surprised it's heavy on that side.
I wonder, and I'm just trying to think through it here, the bigger teams, if you will, I say that in air quotes, right? The deeper teams, and like you start now getting into your bench a little bit, and your bench is a little bit deeper than maybe someone else, and how much does that play into it? The hydration break one has been an interesting thing because we have seen some games. Is it coincidence? Is it the hydration break? Is it not? We don't know. There's going to be a study done on this. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
FIFA puts out that technical study group. That's going to be discussed quite a bit because you got a team that's playing well. Did you make any changes? Probably not. You got a team that needs to make changes. Now the coach has a timeout, right, to do this. But I would think those, the depth of your roster probably plays into this.
Yeah, this graphic showing us how many goals have been scored by subs. So 26 goals have already been scored. That's just up until now. All the other World Cups is the entirety of the tournament. So even though we haven't reached 32, there was only 32 goals scored by subs in 2014. Speaks to the depth of these teams.
I think you're getting better quality squads. And we're speaking about it throughout this whole tournament in terms of the actual depth between, as Tony said, they alluded to, the bigger teams and those teams that's now being invited to the dance finally and getting an opportunity to showcase what they can do. But also within those squads, what you're realising is the actual depth of each of those individual squads is actually really good. The quality in terms of the players that's coming on isn't that different to the player that's coming off. And that really does talk about how football is advanced. We've got better in terms of as a complete and a collective. But most importantly, everybody just wants to showcase what they can do at the World Cup. And these invited teams, the expanded 16 teams that are now in this competition and get an opportunity to showcase what they can do, trust me, they're coming off the bench with extra incentive. They also know, hey, I can score against this team here. I can showcase what I can do. I can become a national hero. And that's what you really want in terms of what they win these World Cups. It isn't just about the teams that get to put a star on their chest. It's all of the other teams as well.
Yeah,
when I think about England in particular, they brought Saka off the bench.
Facts.
Yeah, that must be nice.
Morgan Rogers.
Rashford, Rogers. So you have these players who are just tremendous. To your point, there's no drop-off. And in fact, they can maybe be better than the players that they're replacing.
Some people would say that Bukayo Saka is better than Noni Madueke or Anthony Gordon, who's starting in front of them right now. Marcus Rashford, the same conversation to be had. So, and we haven't even spoken about the French bench, because I personally feel like their B team could probably win the same World Cup as much as I don't even want to call them a B team, because there's a whole bunch of players that's sitting at home that probably should be playing in this World Cup. So it just speaks about the overall quality of football and how much we've advanced, which is a good sign.
Yeah, definitely. Not me giving love to the hydration breaks. You're all laughing at me. Hey, don't hate me.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.